Hello, PlayStation planners, players, and pure geniuses. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the city of Portsmouth. Today we're going to be working on this fishing harbor right over here on the right side of the city here. It's a pretty fun build. There was a lot of tedious doing and redoing of quay walls and roads and fixing grid layout. Just a ton of tedious work. I tried to edit a lot of it out, but I also left enough of it in there so for those who do attempt to do this, see that it was not one big smooth fluid action. It was a lot of time and patience trying to work with the mechanics of the game to make certain aspects of this work. All in all, totally a ton of fun. Totally worth doing. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm glad you keep coming back to check out the content we're putting out here at Mad Battery Productions. It's a ton of fun putting it all together. I love playing City Skylines. I love making these videos. Without any further ado, let's dive right into this build. So I've already kind of flattened the land up there in the top left. You can see the water receding away from there. A lot of this build in the very early stages was move the ground, wait for the water to recede, so I'd move a little bit and then I'd pretty much just walk away from my PlayStation and let it just sim for like 20 minutes to clear all this water out. So that's kind of what you're seeing here. But this is the platform we're going to be working with here. I started with kind of a road skeleton, so you can just about parallel your quay walls off the roads pretty effectively in vanilla City Skylines. Now, the process is still tedious, but it's probably one of the few useful tools you can use to give it some continuity. So, just kind of starting out with a basic idea of how I want the port to look here. Now you can see with this other port how it's got kind of that rock wall that sort of shields the port from upriver. So the water from this river is just ripping through here. It is going super fast. So I put these walls in so that way the water wasn't just swirling and flooding over the city. I learned that with the first one I built that's a bit smaller towards the mouth of the river here. So with this one, when I went to do it, I kind of had a bit more of a feel for how all this needed to work. So you can see the water's kind of rushing in right now, and it does flood over briefly, but it does stabilize out with that wall being there, and makes the port waters a lot smoother. Kind of what you would see in real life. You want to have good water inside your ports and dock areas, so that way people aren't breaking their neck just trying to park. So water dynamics in City Skylines are tough to get down, man, let me tell you. You can see just with the work I'm doing up here on this port, it's flooded the one down here by the mouth of the river. So lots to consider when working with water in City Skylines. And with a lot of builds like the interstates and stuff like that, you're able to kind of pause the game so that way portions of your city don't die without having the connectivity with traffic. But when you're doing things that involve water, you have to get yourself set up where you can run the game pretty much in fast forward mode, because it takes so long for the water to settle. It's crazy. You guys who play this know this. So we're going to set up this little peninsula looking thing here. This is just going to separate the commercial fishing dock from the local boat marina that's going to be here. So you're going to have this smaller section where people who live up and around this area, who own boats, can park them here. And then this bigger section on the other side here is going to be reserved for those in the fishing industry. So we're going to have some commercial interests along this strip here on this side, and the other side is going to be a lot more industrialized. There's going to be a lot of offices. There's going to be a fish factory, a fish market, some industrial buildings, some storage warehouses. I mean, just the works. We're going to have just about everything but residential around this little cove that we've made here. So I was definitely feeling that since Portsmouth is going to be a port city, that having a lot of fishing industry here was going to be really important. I wanted there to be, well, for one, it has the added aesthetic of the fishing boats that you can have sailing around. I also added a ferry stop to this little cove and the one at the mouth of the river. I haven't actually got a ferry depot going yet, so I don't have any ferries working around the city yet, but this is just kind of future planning. If I don't use them, I'll just delete them and put a fishing pier there. But if I do use them, which I plan on it, then we're also going to have ferries roaming around the bay and the river. Just going to be really, really cool, I think. I think this is going to be one of the best builds that I've been able to utilize, only having 9 tiles for. Normally I just kind of plan on a big square or, you know, similar to it. But with this one, I'm actually utilizing the land that I'm purchasing to buy the coastal areas in the bay, so we can have this city that just wraps around all of this. It's going to be really cool. This is going to be one of my last builds that I do on the PlayStation 4 here soon. We're going to be getting into some PS5, so we'll be able to do all 25 tiles. I'll probably have to take a little bit of a breather on making videos. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use the same video sharing app that I have on my PlayStation 4. So, but we'll see. That's all in the works. Not in a hurry to get anything going too crazy yet, so let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. Was the 25 tiles added to the PlayStation 5 City Skylines Edition, was that worth the upgrade? I'm pretty pumped for it. I have City Skylines for my computer as well, and I get down on playing a lot of that, but I really enjoy the challenge of only having vanilla and vanilla assets on the PlayStation. It makes building the cities a lot more challenging for me, and it makes it more of like what a game is, you know. You're supposed to have that challenge to create something to be what it is, and I like that aspect of it. Plus, they don't turn out too bad. I've heard a lot of content creators talk about how the only thing that kept City Skylines 1 going for so long was all the mods, which I suppose I could agree with to an extent, but they really did some amazing stuff with the DLC on this game. A lot of people really underrated the DLCs for what they were, but boy, I thought every bit of content that they were adding for it was just great. I loved it. And that's coming from someone who does enjoy playing with a modded setup on a computer. I just don't think they did anything wrong. I think modders were necessary because individual people think about things on more of a street view level than creators like this would. They would think of it only from a bird's eye view, whereas, you know, you could think of standing on a busy intersection in your city or town and thinking, oh, well, there would be a gas station here, you know, so let's make an asset to plop some gas stations there. And, you know, that would be a modder thing, because they think about that street view sort of stuff. So, always grateful to that community. I'm never against that. I love the mods, I love the game, but vanilla is just phenomenal. They did a great job making this game and everything that they added to it over the years. So, what about Cities Skylines 2? I've seen a lot of content regarding that. It looks like it's a ton of fun, but it also looks very, very basic. Now, I know it's still in its early stages. I mean, it's a brand new release game, and right now they're mostly fixing bugs and patches and stuff like that. I totally get that. But for that reason, I'm also not in a huge hurry to dive in on Cities Skylines 2 yet. I think we're still looking at probably another good solid year of Cities Skylines 1 content being playable and viewable while they perfect everything with Cities Skylines 2, get it out for the console versions, and start to see some downloaded content. We'll start to see some modders coming out with some stuff. It's just not that far yet. And so I'm not too critical of Cities Skylines 2 yet. I think it's really limited. And that's okay. Every game goes through their beginning phases where they're still kind of working out the bugs and just making it work. So, adding in a ton of parking here for these commercial and industrial areas here. Not a whole lot of trees, lots of parking, lots of paths and alleys. You know, this isn't a fishing port you come to be around nature. This is a people stop all the way. So, lots of parking. Never add too much parking. I like to use those narrower streets after I put parking in, so that way people aren't parking on the road. Just makes everything look better. And in real life, it would make traffic flow a lot better too. I don't know that that has an effect on this game, because a lot of people like to just pull right up to the front door of a building and then their car disappears. So, not sure how much cars parking on the side of the road actually affects traffic in this game, but on a real life note, it does affect traffic. So, keeping people from parking on the sidewalk, that's a must, especially in a busy place like this where you have industrial traffic going in and out all the time. You can see it there on the right. So, keep your cars off the road, park in the parking lots. So, getting close to the end of this build. It has been a ton of fun building all this. I love doing these little projects. I know it's kind of harder to follow along visually, because with the computer you can kind of park your screen where you want to and maneuver your mouse within your field of view, whereas the PlayStation, everything is centered on your cursor, so everything moves. So here's our overview of our port that we've built, kind of looking out towards the bay there. Looking out over the rest of the city we've built so far. This build has been a ton of fun. I don't know why I've been stuck on it so much lately. The way that we did the grids and the street layouts, the way that we've connected it all with the interstates and infrastructure, with the trains and everything, it's just really, really come together good. I didn't have any specific ideas except for that it was going to be a port city when I started this, and oh boy, just adding to this infrastructure as I've been building along has just made this place phenomenal. One of the best cities I've ever built in Cities Skylines. I hope you guys have enjoyed this content. I hope you keep coming back for more. Next episode, I'm going to be doing some work on the city of New Prince. Pretty excited for that. It's been a little while since we dove into that one. But I hope you all have a happy holiday season. Stay safe out there. Don't be drinking and driving. Buckle up. And have fun. Enjoy the people you're around with. Enjoy the times. Live every day for what it's worth. Thanks for stopping in, you guys. And you take care.